Well, good morning. It's about 9:30 on Friday the 10th on an overcast day in Phoenix. We don't get a lot of these. This is what we refer to as our monsoon season. Had an overnight rain that was quite heavy. And they're saying that probably starting tomorrow, we're going to get some serious rain in the valley, which will be, really cool because we can always use the rain. What's interesting is my front yard is gravel, and the rain will cause weeds to pop up and mushrooms, which is really weird. Toadstools, actually. Good morning. How you doing? And so we always look forward to that because basically the saying is that Arizona grows where the water flows, which is why we have a lot of farming here, cotton and all kinds of crops. Arizona is a big producer. So Arizona grows where the water flows. We'll see what we have tomorrow morning. In the meantime, back at the ranch, we have a beautiful 72, I think it is, Commando, 750 Commando. And this bike was in here a while back, and Kevin and I put new ice elastics in it and did the fork seals. Now the owner, this is a one-owner bike, and that bike had been in storage for a long time. And after we did the fork seals and ISOs, he's been polishing on this bike ever since. And it looks really good. Oh my goodness, it looks good. So I've got the fender up on the shelf, and what he wants me to do is clean up the wiring, and install an electronic ignition, which he's supplying. He's supplying a tri-spark, and that's no problem. So I'm going to clean up the wiring, install the tri-spark, take off the, says the clutch is dry. I think he wants me to check the clutch while I'm here. Put the front fender back on once we get the bike completely finished. This little cap is not down in the groove. He'd like me to fix that. And we're going to take this cover off and send it to AMR and have them do the anti-drain down. And then we'll fill it with oil and see if we can get it to run. Now, he's also mounted a electrical outlet there, typical old cigarette lighter, okay? And he wants me to wire that so he can use this little adapter, of which I happen to have one. It's a USB adapter that fits in there. So I need to wire that and make sure that I wire it with a negative ground versus positive ground. So this is the one thing on the bike that's going to be negative ground. And I'll have to tell him to make sure that he never tries to plug in a charger or anything into that, because it's wired backwards from British view and proper for Americans, and guaranteed to cause somebody some confusion at some time. So I'm going to start on this today. I'm going to take the tank off and just start looking at the wiring, and pull the cover off and ship it to AMR in Tucson and see what I can get done today. All right, so the project begins. All right, I'm going to get started now. First thing I'm going to do is pull the timing cover off, because we're going to send it to Tucson to AMR to have the modification, anti-drain down modification done. So I'm going to do that first. Now I've already taken the shifter off to get it out of the way, and you may notice I just put it right back on facing backwards. No sense in doing it anyway. It is as well stored there while I work on the bike as it would be in a box on a shelf. So I just put it right back on there backwards, and when I put this back together, the shifter will be right there waiting for me. So anyway, I'm going to back away from this a little bit and start taking this cover off. I'll try to stay out of the way of the camera. I think I'll put on a microphone. All right, the microphone's on, and I'll be able to talk as I start the process. Here we go. Very nice hex head bolts. Good old original points. Well, guessed wrong on that one. Oh, that's in tight. Guten tight. Now this one has a small washer on it. Yeah, they both do. Good. Okay, so that's nice. Out with the old. Isn't that easy? All right. See if we can get this regulator off. Come on. That'll do the little one. That won't do the big one. I know I have one that I... Not there, the whole thing. The whole thing can. That's good. Uh-oh. I don't think this requires any voiceover. Everything I've done here is pretty straightforward. The song that I'm incessantly whistling is, I think it's called Make Believe by Roy Orbison. Every day I wake up with a song in my head that haunts me all day long and makes my lady friend crazy because she hears me and it then becomes firmly embedded in her head too. So stand by, you're about to hear Make Believe in your head for a very long time. And thank you very much. I don't have any box cutter blades out. I've always whistled while I work. And when I was with Ticketmaster, I had a coworker who hated it. And we'd be working in close proximity, and I would start to whistle without even thinking about it. And he would get up and storm out of the room. I'd have to go after him and say, I apologize. I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was doing it, and I'll stop, and all in the whole 9 yards. And he got even. He got even with me. He found out that I absolutely hate it. I still do. Hate it when you're in a meeting with somebody and they're eating while they're meeting with you. So every time he'd come into my office to discuss something about the Ticketmaster product and the computer stuff that we were working on, he would invariably bring along an apple or something like that and eat it while we had our meeting because he knew it made me crazy. But because he was, I'd say theoretically, but actually in actuality, uh, positioned superior to mine, because he was one of the guys who actually wrote, he was the guy who actually wrote the original Ticketmaster software. And I came in after the fact to manage the installation of all the systems and maintenance. So he actually was in a position higher than I, and I couldn't say anything about it. But I thought it was extremely clever that he would do that while we were meeting. And all the software on Ticketmaster was written in a Basic Plus. Don't know how many people know about that, but I was rather expert at Basic Plus, so I had no problem making changes to the system. And one time I decided I wanted to have the system ring the console's bell. Now remember, the console was a Digital Equipment Corporation printer type console, and it had a bell function, and you could tell the computer, ring the bell, ring the bell. And if you wanted the computer to ring the bell under certain situations, uh, for example, let's say the system is stopped and it shouldn't have stopped, so it'll ring the bell to get your attention to let it know that there's a problem before 20 or 30 ticket sellers out in the world start calling on the phone. So I decided I wanted to do that, and I wrote into it a software that would ring the bell when he got in trouble, not knowing that he had used the bell character for other purposes. Uh, God only knows why, but it crashed the system, and I took a lot of flack for that. But to use the bell character for other reasons other than ringing the bell wasn't a good idea. The bottom line is, you may hear me talk about things I do here for the next guy. You know, like when I put a nylon tie strap on, I clip it very close so that the next guy won't scratch his fingers. And when I put on a bracket or something like that that has a sharp edge, I will take the time to file down those sharp edges so the next guy doesn't get cut like I did. So anyway, using the bell character was not a good thing because the next guy, which was me, I got screwed. So you got to watch out for the next guy. Jano, you got to watch out for the next guy. Don't do stuff that'll screw up the next guy. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh, I thought that was a half. Is it Whitworth or is it US? Seems to be Whitworth. Okay, when you ship your cover to AMR, you also send them the oil pump. Part of their modification for the cover involves the oil pump. I don't know what they do. I've never taken one apart because they're riveted. They put them back together riveted, and I'm not about to take it apart just for the heck of it. Along with the AMA anti-drain down modification, you may be able to psych it out and figure out how they emulated the 1975 Norton anti-drain down valve, which is what they did. But there's more to it than that. And you shouldn't do it yourself because you don't know what the more to it is depending on the year of the bike. Some bikes require things that other bikes don't. And if you do it yourself without understanding all the ramifications, bad things can happen. So once again, it's not worth trying to do it yourself. Not for the not when AMR is there with all their expertise, fast turnaround, and doggone reasonable prices. So I send them all to AMR and let them do the appropriate modification for the appropriate bike. For example, this is a 1972 750. I'll bet you $1 that the modification involves something different than the 850. I don't know what. I don't care what. And I won't go into any details about anything they do because it's not my product, and I believe in protecting other people's intellectual property. So if you want to have the AMR installed in your bike, for goodness sake, send it to AMR. Don't be trying to do it yourself. Okay, so at this point, if there was oil in the tank, it'd be dripping out of here. It's a good way to empty the tank. I needed, when I was on my vacation, I needed a dish towel. So I went online and had a dish towel delivered to my brother's house from Amazon. A dish towel consisted of 12 new dish towels. So I got a whole bunch of brand new dish towels for use here in the shop. All right, at this point in time, I'm just going to pack this up. I'm going to go. Well, I'll wait a while. I have to take Stumpy over for a washing and a grooming and getting his little nails clipped. I have to do that in about an hour and a half. So I will take him down to the groomer, and at the same time I'll make a swing over to UPS and ship this off. One trip for two purposes. You may ask, why do you take Stumpy to a groomer to get a wash and nail clipper? Why don't you do it yourself? Well, first of all, he doesn't like either of those. He doesn't like the wash, the bath. He definitely doesn't like the nail clipping. And I figure I can pay them X amount of dollars to do that for me. And I can stay here and make X amount of dollars while they do that. So you got to figure out, if you're doing a business, when should you spend money and when should you make money? And if you can make money instead of spending money, I don't know, does that count as double the money? Whatever. My brother has a great saying that I have adopted. And that saying is simply, if you have a problem and you have the money to solve the problem, you don't have a problem. I like that a lot, really. So as I get older and older and older, believe me, guys, I am throwing a lot of money at problems that I used to would probably fix myself, but have realized that financially speaking, let somebody else do full-time, and I shouldn't do it part-time. I got a real nice groomer. They treat me nice. They get Spunky in at a moment's notice. I sent them a text this morning about 8:30 or so. Can you get Spunky in sometime soon? And they said, how about noon? And I said, how about okay? So anyway, let the people do what they do. And me, I'll stay home and do what I do. And I'll make money instead of spending money. You gotta think about stuff like that. when you're working on other people's bikes. Now, if you're working on your own bike, it doesn't matter. I mean, it literally doesn't matter. You can spend as much time as you want on your bike or not, because it's your bike. Oh, it's a little bit loose. I'll adjust that a little bit. That's a tad bit loose for my taste. You adjust this shoe right here, and it'll tighten it up. And I got to get the remains of this gasket off of here. But I got to find my razor blade to do it. So let's scrape this off. Okay. All right. Get a different scraper. This is made out of a where is it? Over there, yeah. Made out of a section of hacksaw blade, sharpened. Okay, now one stud came out. That one came out. This one didn't. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to pull this one out. Makes it easier to clean that gasket face. This is a stud puller. Goes on like that, locks in place. And takes out studs without damaging them. Now I can get down into this little crevice right here and get that tiny little bit of gasket that I couldn't get at. Get it off of there so it won't cause a leak in the future. These stud pullers are worth their weight in gold. Just go on Amazon and look for stud pullers, and there's half a dozen different types. I can't even tell you when I bought these. It's been so long. They're called Power Built. Power Built. So look for Power Built if you want the same ones. Here's a dozen iterations in different styles. That's a little bit much there. All I'm going to do is loosen this shoe and lift it up just a little bit. This is completely unscientific. I just want to take some of the slack out of this timing chain. Like that. Now, there's still a little bit. That's not bad. And tighten it back up. Okay, that's much better. Okay, at this point, I can put a couple of tissues here to catch whatever drains out of there. And let's go over here and we'll prep this cover for shipping. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and clean up this cover and get it ready to ship down to AMR. I don't know if you should or have to, but I always take off the bits and pieces that might get in his way that I'm going to replace anyway. Let's get this oil seal off of here. Oh, this one's tight. There we go. That goes away. This is interesting. Some of these are much tighter than I'm used to. This one normally just pops right out of here. Let's take that one out first. All right, so that one's out. That one's out. That one's out. Ah, goodness gracious sakes. It's hot, it's sweaty, it's humid. We don't have humidity here normally. All right. What do you do when they fight you? I have never seen seals so tight. And as many years as I've been doing this, my goodness, what did they put these in with? Super glue? I can't even twist that. This is where something slips and I impale myself. I don't understand this. I mean, goodness gracious sakes alive. Ah! My goodness. Wow. All right, now we got that one out. We know it can be done, at least. It would have been nice if they'd made this one just a slide in on a goes through so that it could be replaced from the outside, because they do leak. Now I'm going to do something. No, maybe I won't do something. Let's see how you can see it down here. Yeah, it's a very small chisel. Very, very small chisel. I'm going to try to get it in here and see if I can tap it in. Use Jake Jr. Ah, there it is. Okay, good. So we've taken both seals out, got it clean. Let's get it even cleaner. Is this still running? Yeah, it is. Okay, I'm going to hold off for a minute. All right, so what I'm going to do now is finish the packing. I put my name in there so that if he's doing more than one, it would help not get confused as to who belongs to what. Just for the heck of it. This is a painter's tape. Once again, just for the heck of it. Interestingly, this is the box he returned the last one in, and I saved it. So it's going to go back again, jiggity jig, back to Michael. I'll take it down to UPS in just a little while. He'll have it probably Monday or Tuesday. In the meantime, I will do something else to this black Norton. We'll figure out what. All right, let's talk about this pressure regulator valve. Dome nut spring body. There's a plunger in here. It's stuck. This is the body. This is the it's plastic. I'm not sure I'll put a plastic one back on it. I've never seen a plastic washer like that, but it may go back on. Right here we have a copper washer, which is what I usually see. Let's see if I can get him off. There we go. Okay, copper washer. And like I say, there's a plunger in here, which normally you just do that and it comes right down. And it did. Good. It came down. Stick your little finger in there. Give it a little turn. If it doesn't come out, if you can't grab it. There it goes. Okay. Now, if it's really stuck, you can reach into it with a pair of pliers, long nose pliers, like so. Put them in, expand them, and use them to pull it out. Okay? If it just won't come out, just put a pair of long nose in there and open them up and pull it out like that. So that's the way it goes back together in this order. Like that. Basically, all I'm going to do now is clean it and make sure it's free. One time I was doing this, and I don't know, I screwed up, and I put it in backwards, and didn't even notice. And I got a frantic comment on the next day's on the video on the next day. Frank, double check it. I think you put it back together backwards, and they were right. It was backwards. And bless them. Bless all of thee who notice things and take the time to comment and tell me. Believe me, it doesn't hurt my feelings at all. Tell me when you do something better. Tell me when you do something easier. Tell me when I do something the hard way. Tell me when I screw up. I mean, I'm just a basic guy. I make mistakes. Okay, so anyway, I'm just going to clean this thing out. It's perfectly clean, frankly. seriously, seriously clean. Okay, let's see where we were. I had to take Stumpy down to the groomers for a bath and slight haircut and toenails clipping. So let's put this back together. You don't have to do this, but what the heck. Nice and loose. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over. You can see from the pattern that this was up against the nut. So I'm just going to turn it over, put it back on. All right. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing over there. Let's see. Just going to tighten this down. It does not have to be torqued to 100 pounds, just down nice and snug, tight, and it'll be just fine. Thank you. Now, I'm not going to do anything else with it at this point. Remember, when I took it off, it has this plastic washer, and I have to order some parts for the bike, so I think I'll order a copper version of this and make that decision when I put it back together. Okay? So I'm going to go order a timing cover gasket and the 2 oil seals that are needed for the timing cover. And it's noon. I might, let's see. I think while I'm here, I might as well open up the primary and take out the clutch plates because he asked me to do that and check the clutch. Battery's completely disconnected, so I don't have to worry about those wires. Oh yeah, we're going to put a different switch in here, I think. Don't know for sure. That's strictly an on-off switch. No, this is what you want. So if it's operational, we'll leave it. Let's pull this off. Microphones are in the green, so let's assume that the microphones are still working. Okay. Even with all that running around, I came back and they seem to be working normally. What the heck? Oh, that's interesting. I put Allen heads in there. Oh, that's not going to do it. That's not going to do it. Let's see what it'll take. And that's not going to do it. Meeny, meeny, miny, mo. One of these has got to go. There you go. I don't think there's any oil in there because it says dry. Which could be a hint. Don't you know that's in the way? Wiring bracket. Stuck. Ah, there it is. Okay, very gently. Okay, so this is, I don't know if you can see what I'm seeing here. The clutch just doesn't feel right. So let me just hold this up here if I can. It's just the pull is wrong. See, it stops right here about halfway. We don't get a full pull all the way back. And I can see down here on the clutch itself that it's not adjusted right. See the length of that adjuster? It's not right. So I'm going to take the clutch apart, pull the plates out, take a look at it, put it back together, and see if we can't get a better adjustment. Okay? Yeah, I think the client said that he put a extra thick plate in here because he saw something on the internet talking about it. I'm not familiar with it. Let's see what's inside there. Don't ever pull this retaining spring off without using the appropriate tool to take the tension off of the spring. And don't do this until you can do that. Okay? Nope, that's not right. No, that was wrong. All right. Thank you very much. Now we're taking the tension off the spring. I told you I'm not perfect. See, now there's no tension on the spring. See it move? Now it's safe to undo the retaining spring. Try to do it without taking that tension off. This thing will pop out and hurt you badly. This is one of the fun parts about getting older. I literally can't see that spring because it's black on black. Okay, there it is. All right. Oh, goodness gracious sakes. There we go. Okay. This just doesn't look right. This plate here is below the level of the teeth. That's interesting. There All right. Come on over to the bench. Let's see what we have here. We have thin steel, thin steel, thin, this is a very thick steel compared to the other ones. Or is it? I'd have to mic it, but it sure feels thicker. Huh. That's interesting by itself. That just doesn't feel right. And then this is a very thick, horrible feeling. Just feels terrible. In the outer. They're mismatched. This one is extra thick, and this one is extra thick. These are fiber on aluminum. These steel are showing weird wear. Okay, just I'm not going to try to figure it out. That's not my job. My job is to get a clutch that works right. So I'm going to order a whole new set of plain and fiber plates for the clutch. All right. That just feels strange. Now this is a 72, and yeah, I'm gonna assume that that is part of the basket. It has no outside teeth, has no inside teeth, and it appears to be riveted. Huh. There's absolutely no wear on the teeth on either the center or the outside, indicating to me that all of this is brand new. Okay. Well, new clutch it is. So let's see where we go from here.